Hey guys, Kurz here with you today. Today I wanted to go over this multivitamin. So the brand here is Pure Encapsulations. I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing that, but I'll put that up there so you guys kind of see what I'm attempting to say here. So they are calling this the one period, N period, E period multivitamin, and that is a trademark there as well. So once daily nutrient essentials with sustained released CoQ10 multivitamin slash mineral formula for daily wellness. Gluten-free, non-GMO, and hypoallergenic. Again, I'm butchering another word here, so I'm put that up there so you can see again what I am attempting to say. All right, so let's see. Supplement facts: serving size 1 capsule. I'm not going to spend an hour trying to read you all these ingredients here. I couldn't pronounce them anyway. But it is 1 capsule per serving, and we have your kind of normal ones here. Your vitamins A, B, C, D, E, all that's in there. You have, let's see, your extra added stuff. So I always kind of look at that as being kind of a big difference between one vitamin and the next. And you can usually tell by they put this little thick line right here. So everything on this part and that part is generally going to be your, again, pretty typical stuff, your normal vitamins and minerals that most everybody's familiar with. And it also, if you look here, they have their daily recommended kind of amount, whereas then once you get into this big thick line, you no longer have that. So that's always the stuff I really pay attention to as far as kind of seeing the difference between one multivitamin and the next. Those are just kind of extra stuff. So I will go over a few of those here. We have boron, 1 milligram. And again, these do not have any of the daily recommended values on any of this stuff here. We have the boron, inositol, the coenzyme 10 here. I can barely read this. Alpha ibutyric acid. Man, I'm having a terrible time reading these things. Man, they make these things so small. I have reading glasses and bifocal contacts, and I still can't hardly read this stuff. So this other one here, it's a weird one. Floraglow lutein there. The Floraglow, that's written weird. The GLO is all capital, so I'm assuming that's some type of name brand as well in here. And then zeaxanthin, and again, I apologize for butchering all these names. And the last one here is lycopene. Lycopene, 500 milligrams, or mcg. The Zenilaxagen, 500 mcgs. That name brand one, the Floraglow lutein, or Lewis, how you pronounce it, 3 milligrams. Alpha lipoic acid, 50 milligrams. The CoQ10 is 50 milligrams. Inositol, 25 milligrams. Boron, 1 milligram. All right. And then to get all the other stuff, against your stuff that everybody's pretty familiar with. All right, so this has the nice little safety seal, little plastic seal on here. So let's see if I can get that off. Well, I'll do that later. I don't want to spend 20 minutes trying to take the seal off. It also has another little layer here, sealed for your protection. All right, let's get that off of there. All right, so let's see what we got. So one serving size is make sure, 1 capsule is a serving size. So I'm just going to pull a couple of these out here so we can kind of see. I like to look at several of them out of a package just to see if there's any type of kind of weirdness in them as far as being different from one another. So first glance here, you kind of hold that up there. At a glance, they look pretty similar. Now there is some discoloration in there, which is interesting. I'm going to assume that's supposed to be normal though, because it's in all of them. And then even looking in there some more, they all have that. So I'm going to assume that's supposed to be there. They all look to be filled. Well, let me see, I kind of pat that down. Yeah, if I kind of pat that down, you get a little bit of space right there. But again, I think that's going to be pretty, it kind of looks like it's pretty typical for all of them. Again, I'm not going to judge them harshly on it not being completely full. I mean, the stuff settles and things like that, but they all do look to be pretty much full and very comparable to one another. Those little flakes I find kind of interesting. Again, I'm assuming that's supposed to be there because, you know, they all have that, but that's not something I'm familiar with seeing with capsules. But again, I'm assuming it's supposed to be there. But initial smell, it does have a little bit of a smell to it. So the reason I always kind of take in the smell into consideration, my wife is very sensitive towards smells. She's not going to, well, maybe she would throw up actually. She does kind of gag sometimes. So if anything has like a harsh smell to it, she does have a little bit more difficult time kind of getting it down. So I always try to pay attention to stuff, especially if it's something I want her to take or I'm trying to talk her into it. I want to make sure it doesn't have a real off-putting odor to it, because if it does, she's going to have a harder time taking it. As far as my opinion on this one, in all honesty, I'm a little bit questionable about her taking it. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you got a whole bunch of multivitamins and you smell them, odds are they're all going to have a little bit of a smell, kind of a, I don't know what that smell is, but they all have a similar smell to them. And I am getting a little bit of that from this. Again, I'm not assuming that that's anything wrong with it or anything bad. Again, it just smells like a multivitamin, but I do try to keep that in mind with her, just because, again, she does have that sensitivity towards things. Let's see the size. Let me get one of those out again. Look at that real quick. As far as the actual size of it, I would say this is, it's probably about average. If anything, maybe just a hair larger, but you know, probably about average size, to tell the truth, as far as like capsules go. Another reason I always take that in mind again is my wife. She has a hard time taking pills. You know, part of it's the smell, again, part of it's the size of them. So for her, just, you know, having a smaller pill is going to be easier for her to get down. One thing I do like about this is that a serving is just one capsule. So in order for her to take pills, again, it's always a negotiation. I'm just trying to force things down her half the time. But, you know, for her just to have one capsule, she's going to be much, much more likely to consider taking it. Whereas if a serving size was 2, 3, 4, you know, I've seen about 6. I mean, 6 pills per serving of different things. But I mean, there's no way I could talk her into taking 6 capsules of one thing every day. Getting her to take one, probably a little bit better of a chance. So I mean, all in all, it looks good. I mean, again, all the pills look the same as far as one another. They are filled the same, again, in comparison to one another. So that looked good. The ingredients in here, all your good stuff. Pure, that's a good brand. I mean, I've been using that brand on different types of supplements for a while, so I do trust that brand. I've had good experiences from them. My only concern with this would be that smell. Again, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it stinks, I'm not saying it's god awful, but again, if you're familiar with taking multivitamins, you know the smell I'm talking about most likely. But it's not super strong, but it is there. So if you do have somebody that has like a sensitivity towards smells or anything like that, just kind of keep that in mind if you're considering getting this one. But all in all, I would recommend it, at least so far anyway. I mean, I may feel differently after taking it for a little bit, but as of right now, I mean, I'm not seeing anything bad about it, again, other than that slight smell, just multivitamin smell again. But there you go, guys. So I hope somebody out there got something from this video, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.